All right, got to get my message back together here. I'll just wing it anyway. It's just a prop. I'll have faith, yes. Absolutely. So it is the first Sunday of Advent, and it is a call to faith. And so today is the learning about the substance of faith. We're going to explore what that means, the substance of faith. We'd like to look at the metaphysical meaning behind this famous scripture, Hebrews 11, 1 through 3. I had to expand it a little this morning. I was reading Hebrews, and I can't just use the first one, although that's where it all starts. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, this is not really understandable. It wasn't really understood by the reasoning mind, by the logical human mind, because how can you have a substance of something that's only hoped for? How can you have evidence of something you don't see? So it's interesting. Very, very soon did they change the translation to the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. And I didn't really like that translation so much. So I go back to the King James Version, because substance of things hoped for is the divine energy. It's the energy of life. It's everything there is. The substance of everything is that divine energy within it. And I love it because if you just keep reading a little bit down the line, it says, through faith, we understand that the worlds, all the worlds, the whole universe, was formed by the Word of God, or divine ideas. The worlds are formed by energy and divine ideas, manifest by consciousness. The worlds were formed by the Word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear. We've got it backwards. We think, I see it, and therefore that's what it is. That's why it's there. It's just there. I see it out there. But in the Bible it's saying that the things that we see are not made of the things which do appear. They're made of the things we can't see. We have to actually investigate and discover what we really are made of, what the worlds really are made of. We have to use our minds. How about that? We really have to use our minds to discover something deeper, because what is seen is not made of that which does appear. It's made of that which is invisible. And isn't that exactly what this is saying? It's the evidence of things not seen. To me, that sounded a lot like something I had heard from Niels Bohr, who was one of the fathers of quantum science. Bruce knows this guy. Niels Bohr and Heisenberg and Schrödinger. Wonderful guys who were thinking people, who thought about things that nobody else thought about. Schrödinger said that the goal wasn't to see things that you never saw before, but to think thoughts that you never thought before about the things you see every day. So that's where we're working, within our minds, to see the good in everything. According to Unity, God is good. There's one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life, and that's God the good, omnipresent, everywhere present, in everything. And the second principle is that it's in you too. And so what is the third one? I'm going to bring about that good through the process of my mind, through the process of my thinking, feeling, believing. So Niels Bohr said something very similar to Hebrews 11:3. He said, everything we call real is made up of things that cannot be regarded as real or solid in that sense. Because what you regard as real has to be solid, something that you can grab onto, something that you can identify and define within your limited consciousness. But he said, no, the things that we see are made up of energy. They're made up of energy coming together, right? There's infinite possibilities. And the energy comes together how? Through consciousness. It comes together by a conscious focus of that energy into a certain form. Who's in charge of all that? How is that all happening? Well, who's perceiving it? Whose world is it? Whose body is it? Whose building is it? Come on now, it's you. You're forming your own world, your own reality. That's the third principle of unity, that we form our experiences by the process of our thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in what? You guys are advanced. Thought. Thought. So the universe is a universe of thought manifest in form through what? Intention. Not spirit. That's blind faith. And I'm going to thank you, Bruce, because Bruce is a scientist, and I want to speak about his inquiring mind, because inquiring minds want to know what's going on here. How do I form this world according to divine law and not continually act as if it's defining me? Because that's our biggest problem, everyone, is that you're allowing the world to define you. You're allowing people out there, or what you perceive is out there, and the world that you perceive out there to define you. No, you have to define yourself. And what's wonderful is we define ourselves according to divine law. We bring into manifestation according to divine law from that pure substance of love. That is our opening prayer. That I am bringing into manifestation my world. From what? The substance of love. And so today, we're going to be looking at the substance of faith. Faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. That's Charles Fillmore from The Revealing Word. So faith is actually a power. Oh my goodness, it's a superpower if you ask me. Because it's the power of the mind to perceive. And no one is putting a limit on what you perceive. Only you can do that. There are no limits to your mind. And there are no limits to what you can perceive. You can perceive God in everything because God is in everything. Course in Miracles. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Right, Mary Jo? Course in Miracles person. I hope you join our class this time around. Because God is in everything I see. Why is God? Why? How can that be possible? Because God is in everything. Whether I believe it or not, it's still going to be a possibility. And I can change my beliefs to accept that possibility. What other possibilities would you like to accept? This is what I'm curious about. If our minds are unlimited, and God could be in everything that I see, why am I choosing it to be not in some things or in some people? Good question. I had this conversation with John the other day. So if God is in everything, God is in this guy you don't like? Yes, he is. I wish that he would acknowledge it a little more. But that's not my job. My job is to acknowledge it a little more. That God is in me. And God is in everything I see. Because God is in my mind. Because according to Edwin Schrödinger, the total number of minds in the universe is 1. Oh, you don't like that. You want to be special and have special thoughts. Consciousness is singular. There is one mind in the universe, and that's our first principle of unity. And that mind is the mind of God, or the mind of love. because God is love. Love is God. There isn't a greater purpose in the world than to be that eternal love that you were created from. And you'll find all the beautiful ways to do it because you're beautiful people. And I know that you will do it. And if you want to do something else, you can do that too. But who are you hurting except yourself? That's the whole beauty of this, is that just look at how do you feel about it. When you're angry with someone, when you're judging other people, or when you're really holding fast to a particular point of view and you're not letting anyone else in, who are you hurting with that? But that's why I love in unity that we bless you, we love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you, and the most important thing is we accept you just the way you are, right now. However you're experiencing yourself, I accept that totally. And I accept that the Christ dwells in you right here, right now. You don't have to do anything to achieve or to receive, because it's already what you are. God is in you already. You are already the perfect child of God, the perfect child of the universe. If you don't like the word God, that's okay. We accept you just the way you are and know that however you're viewing yourself in this moment is going to change in the next moment. It's going to expand. It's going to grow. Maybe it will contract, but maybe after that it will grow again. Some of us have contracted for a long time, and now it's time to expand our awareness. And faith is the substance by which we take those actions. It's the substance by which we move into experiencing the truth about ourselves. Faith is the assurance that everything we need is already here, waiting as spiritual substance in the realm of infinite possibilities. This is what happens when I read Charles Fillmore. I start talking like him. But it's true. It's already here. And the magnificent thing is that you are already that which you want to be, or that which you are seeking, or the highest possibility you can hold in your mind. That's what you are already. It's already here. It's more than merely hoping that there'll be an answer to our asking. It's an assurance that the answer is already here. It's waiting for us to shape the substance into anything we desire by the power of our mind. Anything we desire is ours now. But this is the wonderful adventure of a spiritual life. We get to shape it. We get to shape that substance. And that's what faith is, knowing that we can shape it. Even though we don't see it now in form, we can shape it into any form we want. And if that form isn't a worthy vehicle for your spirit, you'll find another one. You'll shape it into another form. And you'll have fun doing that too. It's just we have to get our minds into the realm of possibilities. Because what we've been doing, or what the tendency has been, is to limit our possibilities by what we see physically. Faith is taking that step, although you don't even see the staircase. You see one stair, you don't see the whole staircase. But you take that step, and maybe you'll see the next step. Maybe you'll have to step out, and then it will appear. Quite often, nothing appears until you take that step, until you take that first step. I had a great motivational teacher who used to say, just take one step toward your goal every day. It doesn't matter how big or small, but go in that direction. Maybe you'll take more that day. Maybe you'll take several steps, but at least take one every day towards your goal. One step. Whatever it is that you desire, take that step today. It's very important that for your own happiness, that you honor your heart, that you honor what's in there, that you honor what you're called to do in this life. Right, Paul? Paul's like this. Every day he wakes up and he just asks God to use him as an instrument of his peace, as an instrument to bring more love into this world. I know you guys. This is why I stayed here. This is why I'm falling in love with this place and with you, is because you are servants unto the highest good or the higher good. Even though you can't see and you may not see the results of your labor and your service in your lifetime, you are going to serve. It comes back to the Talmud. I put that quote in my office, by the way. Maybe somebody should go grab it so I can read it exactly. Would one of you guys like to? It's on a candle holder. Because it's so powerful, I want to read it word for word. And it's about, in the face of whatever is happening in this world, in the face of whatever reality you see with your heart the greater good. You see with your heart the greater reality that is true for all of us. You see with your heart and with your mind. And so you have faith that your labor, thank you, Kathy, that your labor is going to have the greatest good. Sorry, I walked out of the camera completely. So here it is from the ancient Jewish text, the Talmud. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. And we certainly can find ourselves daunted in these days by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. For you are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. I'm not obligated to go out and fix everybody's problems and to save everybody from their own mind. But I am not free to abandon the work of telling you that you're getting the result of your own mind. And that the world you see can be a complete reflection of the laws of love, if that's what you want. Just take a step in that direction every day in your mind. Don't give up on your meditation and your prayer every single day. Don't give up on your forgiveness, forgiving all those in your life. Don't give up on service, going out and serving others and giving to others. Don't give up on your spiritual quest. You're all students of the truth, so don't give up on the truth, because that's what will guide you each day. I could say I'm going to get off of my pulpit, but I'm not. I'm going to stick to it. I'll stop preaching now. No, I'm never going to stop preaching. That's why I got this job. I tried preaching in other arenas, and this is the best one. Actually, it gives me a place, that is accepted. But I'm going to tell you this no matter where we meet. I'm going to tell you this at the dinner table. I'm going to tell you this if we're out walking on the beach. I'm going to tell you this if we're in the supermarket. I'm going to tell you this if we're out playing golf. I'm going to tell you this no matter where I am. That you are the point where God shows up in this world. So don't be daunted by the seeming enormity of the world's grief. Your job is to do justly now. Your job simply is to love mercy. To love mercy. To walk humbly. You're not obligated to complete the work, but if you abandon it, you won't be happy. I can tell you, you'll feel lost and lonely and afraid, and then all of a sudden, the world is going to start telling you who you are again. And you might even start believing it. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. You know who you are. Keep reminding yourself You're the perfect child of God. You're the perfect child of the universe, just the way you are. So again, it's not blind faith. Faith is a deep knowing that that which is sought is already ours. Again, it's Charles Fillmore. Everything that we're seeking is right here. So actually, sometimes when we're trying so hard to attain something, we're going in the wrong direction. It's already ours. The idea of sitting and receiving. Then when you get up, you can have the assurance that every step you take is going to be towards receiving that. Because you're not fighting against that which is already present. Being present is actually the best way to receive something that you want. Because you're manifesting it. It's not out there for you to find. It's within for you to manifest, for you to create. It's already yours. I love this because the key that I found is in 1 John. So it says, no man has seen God or the infinite mind at any time, been able to define it within a limited consciousness. But if we love one another, then God or infinite love dwells in us. And guess what? That love is perfected in us. This is where that song came from, Perfect Love. The love is being perfected here and now. Isn't that amazing? We always look to the past or to the future. Oh, well, this culture or that culture, they knew it, they had it, they knew how. No, it's being perfected in us. Right here, right now, in the present moment. God's love, the love of the universe, is being perfected in us. We're doing it. You and me, we're the ones bringing it into manifestation. At least for us, we can observe all the other people we want, but that's their experience. I want to have my own. How about you? I want to have my own experience of that love being perfected in us. And we can't judge love. We can't judge how love is to show up or be manifest in anyone's life. All we can do is know and have faith that that love is being perfected. So when I see love in any form, I give thanks. I want to magnify it and multiply it as much as I can. Because I know that that is God showing up. And I need that. We all need your expression of love in the world, however small or large it can be. For the Course in Miracles told me all expressions of love are maximal. They're all having a maximum effect. I love it because the Course says miracles don't even matter. It's a Course in Miracles, right? And it says miracles don't really matter. What matters is their source, which is love. Everything that comes from love is a miracle. Makes it really simple. Then it gives you 1,200 pages. Then why does it do that? Because we've put up so many blocks to the awareness of love's presence. We've lost our faith in love. But I say love is love, and let's make it manifest, because that really is the bridge. The flow of energy always proceeds from the internal to the external, from the love that I feel out to the world. All life is being born in the great depths of God's infinite love within us. Does anybody believe that? Anybody sitting here today? All life is born in the great depths of God's infinite love within us. See, we've separated ourselves from God for too long. And now, as a unity minister, I'm here to remind you God's love is within you. You're not separate. You've never been separate. All of the universe resides within you. What a joyful, amazing realization. Because now I can walk out the door in the morning and know that I am being guided by the infinite love, the great depths of God's infinite love. I don't have to worry. So this is telling us that if we turn how do we turn our spiritual sight towards faith? By loving one another. It's not easy to say, well, nobody has seen God at any time, so might as well go home. Well, it's unseen. I mean, how can I see it? It's the evidence of that I can't see, so what good is it to me? So all of a sudden, if we don't get the evidence with these eyes, we start to give up. So what do we have to do? It's a beautiful plan, guys. Love one another. It's so simple. Love one another. And that's what turns on the light. That's what flips the switch. That's the foundation of the spiritual way of life. No matter what seems to be going on in the external, we know that God's love is perfected in us in the internal. So this Christmas season, we're going to celebrate the coming of the Christ. Not just in Yeshua ben Joseph 2,000 years ago, but in us, the Christ in us. We are given this wonderful power of faith, that there is something within us. You can feel it. I know you can feel it in there. And you're going to give birth to that Christ this season. You're going to give birth to that perfection within you and bring it out into the world. And if we are genuinely seeking the coming of the Christ in us, we will be given the wonderful power of faith, renewed, replenished, and actually expanded, magnified, that power of faith. Because we'll begin to see it in others. Even in those that we've placed at the furthest distance from us, we'll be able to see the light in them. For we know that there is not just a spark of divinity, that's what made you, is the divinity. And I have to have faith in that. When I have faith that the divine is in you, I'll see it in me. That's another amazing benefit of the spiritual life. When I'm seeing it in you, I'm going to experience it. I'm going to know who I am. But first, I have to look for it in my neighbor. I have to love my neighbor as myself. So you guys, we're going to use the gift of faith this season for its highest purpose, okay? And that purpose is to shape the substance of our being into the living Christ that we were meant to be. And this Christmas, we'll give ourselves and the world the gift of faith. I love you. Thank you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass., and visit us online at unityoncapecod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.